All right, man.
Peace.
All right, thank you.
Oops. Anyways, yeah, man. Shout out to Bob, man. Gotta give Bob some claps. It's good to just really get somebody who, number one, could actually watch the game. Because we really couldn't watch it all. We really only watched the first half and bits of the second half. But number two, someone who could really just kind of see the game from a removed perspective, as in, like, he doesn't have sources or anything like that with either of the organizations, and he's just a basketball purist and really knows the game. So appreciate him breaking down the finals with us. Especially because it just wrapped up. So even if you're listening to this a few days from now on the podcast element, game one is always sets a tempo. So it was just important to have someone come in here and give us a rundown.
Speaking of rundowns, I got a lot of college football stuff I need to address.
All right, man. Go ahead.
That's been happening. All right. So this is just one of the first things, but it kind of happens all the time. Player transfers. Hunter Johnson, who was a 5-star QB at Clemson from 2017, is transferring. Now, that's pretty much just a long list of transfer QBs. A lot of 5-star QBs transfer. Kyler Murray, who sprained his ankle playing baseball for Oklahoma's team, transferred from Texas A&M to Oklahoma. 2015, Blake Barnett transferred from Alabama to Arizona State, never played, then has transferred again to USF, my bad, University of South Florida, and he still has 2 years of eligibility left. Oh, man, it's Jacob Eason is another guy off Georgia's team, because Georgia has literally, I think, 3 5-star QBs. It's insane. It's like NCAA when you are in recruiting mode and 12 quarterbacks signed to one school. You're like, what the hell is this? This is dumb. But the reason why a lot of those guys transfer, especially Shea Patterson, who was at Ole Miss and got approved to play at Michigan, it's just I don't think they were ever really the right fit to begin with. At certain schools, yeah, they're high-powered recruits, but they transfer. Some of them are so good that they have, let's say, NFL potential, but it never really grows because they don't stick anywhere. It's almost like you'd rather have a guy who's, let's say, a 3-star recruit, goes to a school, stays there 4 or 5 years, and becomes something. And it's just kind of ridiculous that a lot of these cats are these such top-rated recruits. They play a little bit in college, you get them to the NFL, and they suck. They're terrible. That's kind of shocking in itself. But, hey, it's just going to continue. Then you have more transfer news. The SEC has this big problem with graduate transfers. They don't let any of this, a lot of them, they'll bar you from transferring to certain schools within the SEC. Same thing in the ACC.
Shout out to Saban.
Yeah, how did you know? He gets blamed for a lot of this, but former Ole Miss wide receiver, is still his situation is expected to get resolved this Friday. He transferred to Florida, and it's dumb rules most of the time, just because they don't like interconference transfer cases. So usually if you transfer within your conference, you automatically lose a year of eligibility. But if you're a graduate transfer, you should be able to transfer wherever you want to. Now, some schools suffer from a postseason ban in case of Ole Miss. So if you transfer your graduate transfer, you should be allowed to go anywhere and not lose that year, because the school that you came from isn't even going to be bowl eligible. So his case will clear up. And what's your whole take on just college transfers in general? Do you feel like it's the whole Tubby Smith rule, once you sign somewhere, it's your obligation to stay?
I feel like players should be able to transfer without restriction only because, well, coaches can, number one. And number two, if I can transfer schools academically, which in itself is hard, if the academic side is willing to do that, then the athletic side should be able to do that as well, because essentially it's student first, even though I know you don't believe in that. But essentially that's how it should be, because academics comes first. Like if I enroll in a program and I'm like, hey, that's not my major anymore, I don't want to go to this school anymore, but I'm still a Division I athlete, I should be able to change schools to go to somewhere that aligns a little bit better with my academic and professional future without having to suffer consequences in sports just because I know the playbook and some of the players. The chances are we might not even play each other. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe even putting a conference, like, okay, yeah, you can transfer, but hey, go to a different conference. I think that's more than fair.
But what if your
that would be a compromise?
But your graduate program is at Vanderbilt and you transferred from Clemson, but they won't let you go to Vanderbilt? I mean, no, not Vanderbilt. Wake Forest. I mean,
yeah, that would fall in the interconference.
Yeah, but your graduate transfer, you're allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be like, if I'm a graduate transfer and I'm at USC and I want to go to UCLA, you legally have no right to do that, to ban me from doing that. You only have that power to do that because you hold the whole student athlete banner over my head, which already in itself is a fallacy.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if I academically did what I was supposed to do. I graduated. I'm no longer beholden to the school. I have my bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Why are you taking my autonomy away from me from a rule that you created to where I can go anywhere I want to, but I can't play at that school?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And that's where all the corruption comes in, because it's just not on the nose. It's the laws say one thing, but the execution is totally different.
All right, man. So
I got one last thing though for college football. So Jimbo Fisher signed, or actually he didn't sign. Yeah, he actually didn't sign his 10-year, $75 million contract with Texas A&M.
We heard that stomach sound, by the way.
That wasn't
Whatever
me. That was you.
That was not me.
It was gurgling. Yeah, I'm amazed that the Texas Tribune's Shannon Jimbati, I think that's how I butchered her last name. I'm sorry. She reported today that Fisher and Texas A&M, they're still finalizing the final details of the deal. And Fisher and the school have a memorandum of understanding in the places that see where he's going to get paid and amount agreed to the contract. But there's also, according to CBS Sports' Dennis Dodd, he spoke to a source at Texas A&M who said there's a zero concern about Fisher not technically being under contract. That's kind of weird. Because, like, it's Texas, and they have their own rule. They literally have their own rules and laws, as Mike Leach once said. So it's like, you didn't sign this 10-year, $75 deal that makes you the richest coach ever, and you're not at Florida State anymore. So it's like, what's going on here? Do you feel like this is more of a taker or touchdown or turnover, but do you feel like this is just going to become the norm in Texas with coaching jobs at college football programs?
How is that a touchdown or turnover? That's definitely an open-ended question. Definitely an open-ended question. I don't know. I don't really know enough about Texas law or college football to really say either way.
I feel like it's going to be more screwy. Like, this is going to be a problem if they don't win games and he hasn't signed the contract yet. That's what I really mean.
Yeah.
This could be a turnover, a big flop for a school that apparently just has all the money.
I think the biggest thing is you made Fisher your marquee hire and move, and basically you're changing the culture, and this guy's not even under contract, which brings it back to the first point you were talking about people being able to transfer, and it's like, okay, yeah, Fisher's in limbo, but what about all the recruits he got? What about all the recruits he's going to get? It's going to be a similar situation if it's a flop.
Can they leave since he hasn't even signed his contract to work here? Like, How does that work?
All right,
Just something to think about.
all right, man. So let's make this quick because I want to leave some time for our rants. So touchdown or turnover, real quick. You know how it goes. Touchdown good, turnover bad. Simple. Okay, Phillip Rivers
Cavemanish.
said he would vote to have Antonio Gates back. Is that a touchdown or a turnover?
That's a no. That's a no-brainer. That's a no shit. Like, obviously you wanted the franchise's best tight end.
That's
back.
what I'm saying. No, so is him saying that? Is that a touchdown or a turnover?
That's an obvious touchdown. It's a turnover if they don't re-sign him because Hunter Henry tore his
It's a
ACL.
turnover, and here's why. Because the fact is that Phillip Rivers is saying it, and it's still not happening, is an indicator that not
Fair.
only the Chargers are trying to move on
I see
from
what you did
Antonio
there.
Gates, but they're also
Trying to move on from
phasing
him.
in out Phillip Rivers.
I see what you did there. All right. I
And
took the bait on that one.
yeah, you did. It's okay. Next one.
Kind of like you took the bait on the college question.
Yeah. Next one. Chuck Liddell. He is working with the Cleveland Browns, doing some MMA drills in OTAs. Is this a touchdown or a turnover?
Turnover.
Go
Simply
for it.
put, because I would just be like, Quentin Rampage Jackson beat your ass. Why didn't we just get him?
I'm gonna go
You're a washed up UFC.
touchdown because, well,
Can you pass a drug test, Chuck?
in that division, you really can't be soft. And if
Have you seen the Steelers defense
the
the past couple
Browns
years?
want to get over the hump, they can't be soft. And the Ravens have been soft lately. And the Bengals have really been soft. Actually, that division's been pretty soft the past 2 seasons. Now that I really think about it.
Not the Ravens
But
defense.
even the
Ravens
soft-
defense was pretty good. Their pass defense. The pass defense in the AFC North is trash. It's hot garbage. It's hot melted garbage. It's a dead beluga whale on the beach. That's what the AFC North's pass defense has been. Name a corner in the AFC North that you want on your team, aside from Humphrey.
Artie Burns.
You want Artie Burns?
Hell no, I was
You
joking.
pick Artie? I'm about to say,
was
like,
joking.
ah,
All right, so I know we already talked about the NBA finals, but
garbage.
we got some Browns alumni beef. Joe Thomas basically said he's got so much faith in the Cavs, he'll buy everyone a jersey if the Cavs don't win, a Steph Curry jersey. And, well, Randall, as you alluded to earlier.
Marcus Randall, former first-round pick of the Green Bay Packers and Arizona State standout.
He said he promised what?
He promised for every retweet he'll buy everyone a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey, and he's gotten about $1 million. Over $1 million. Almost. Let me get the exact number.
So, is this a touchdown or a turnover? People promising jerseys over sports that they're not even a part of?
It's definitely turnover because Cleveland is biting off way more than they can chew. Like, will Cleveland even win 7 games this year? Bro, how are you promising anything? Clay Matthews retweeted it and just said, "I'm just here for the free jersey." Like, man, I'd be like, yo, for every retweet we get, I'm gonna donate like something for all the games we win.
I'm gonna say it's a touchdown. The only reason why is because
Until he gives up a touchdown, it won't be funny.
I'm waiting for NBA players to start promising me some NFL jerseys because damn right I'll be on that retweet, boy. All right,
That was such culture. Don't ever do that again, please. That was culture vultures. That was vintage culture vulture. Please.
Actually, I've said that plenty of times, so it's really
the way
not a
it's
culture
how you
vulture.
said it. It's how you said it.
I've said it.
It's
just
how you said it.
I've said it like that multiple times, so I really don't give a fuck.
It wasn't that bad.
I really don't care.
It wasn't that bad in the past.
I don't care. All right, man. Is there one that you want to get to? Is there anyone you got? Solomon Thomas
Go for it.
gained 20 pounds of muscle. He's up to 280.
Fam, I thought he was already at 280. He came out at like 269.
Supposedly he wasn't. Supposedly he gained
Dog,
20 pounds of muscle and he's at 280.
he's freakishly
And people
athletic.
are predicting him to have a breakout year. So is that a touchdown or a turnover? A newly bulky Solomon Thomas. Pause.
That's a major pause. That's a faux pas. Unless he's really going to play D tackle full time.